Hello everyone, welcome. I want to read you something from a little book called Experiencing God Through Prayer, which is an English translation of Madame Guyon's Short and Easy Method of Prayer. I'm reading from chapter 17, How to be Led by the Spirit. And I quote, I would now like to introduce you to one of the primary goals in prayer. In previous chapters, I asked you to consider the benefits of remaining silent before God. I hope you have been practicing this in your time of prayer. Remember, it does not mean that you remain dull and inactive, but rather the activity within your spirit is now being moved by God Himself through the agency of His Spirit. In Romans 8:14, Paul exhorts us to be led by the Spirit of God. Ezekiel the prophet had a vision of wheels which had a living spirit within. Wherever the Spirit went, they went. They ascended and descended as the Spirit of life directed. We, in like manner, must move according to the life-giving Spirit within us and be cautiously faithful to move only when He moves. Therefore, your actions will not reflect on you, but rather the Creator who made you and desires to lead you throughout your entire life. This activity of being led will always surround you with peace. When you interrupt the Spirit's leading, you will always sense it because you will feel either forced or constrained. But when your actions are under the influence of the Spirit of grace, they will be free, easy, and so natural that it will almost seem as though you have not acted at all. That's right. Another way of saying being silent is to be still. You see, we're always trying to make something happen. And it is much better for us to be led by God than to initiate an action on our own. Because many times when we initiate an action on our own, we're actually responding to temptation. I'll give you a couple of very simple examples. Somebody looks at you funny and you get angry. Do you see how you're responding to temptation? It may not even be temptation, the spirit of temptation operating. It's simply that you react to the person as if they were a temptation. You see, you bump your toe on a chair and you get angry, reacting to, well, not a temptation, but you're using it as if it were a temptation. But you want an example of a real temptation? Well, in your mind, something says, you're not working hard enough. You've got to make more money. You've got to do more. You've got to be more. Something like that. Or you're just about to reach for some fast food that you don't really need, or some sweet dessert that you don't really need, and the voice says, you deserve it. You work so hard, you deserve it. Besides, nobody cares. Nobody cares about you. Why not enjoy yourself? You know, something like that. Temptation. I'll give you another example of temptation. There's a possibility that presents yourself to you of doing something naughty. And you feel a tug to act. See? Or you have an opportunity to say something mean to somebody and you feel a tug to say something mean. Well, if you respond to that tug, you're responding to temptation. Do you understand? So it may take you a long time, but the day will come when you will see that just about everything you've ever done has been a reaction to temptation or something used as temptation. See, your ego uses, like somebody doesn't say good morning to you and then in your mind a voice says, who do they think they are? Do they think they're better than I am? Temptation. But if you resent the person, you're actually giving into temptation. So there are several things you have to watch out for. You have to watch out for things presenting themselves to you, a chance to do something wrong, something naughty, to take something that's not yours, to say something cruel, and you feel a little tug, see? Or you hear a voice exhorting you, you see? And what is it exhorting you to do? Often to give in. Now, the other way that temptation operates is through feelings. See? When you begin to give in to the temptation, whether it be a tug or a voice or something presented in the environment, some opportunity or somebody is a little bit rude, or you think they're rude. Maybe they weren't rude, or they say something mean, or you think they said something mean. You see what I mean? And you use it as an opportunity to judge them. Do you see? But there's a feeling then. See, the feeling arises. Anger, indignation, excitement, lust, or the feeling that you've been hard done by and nobody appreciates you. And you see the feelings, the hurt feelings? Those represent your response to the temptation. And of course, once you've responded to temptation, then those feelings, then they come up and you begin to lose control over them. So basically, you've been living life backwards. So now what you must learn to do is stand back from temptation, stand back and watch and wait in the light. See, observe things. And then when you move, it'll be without any kind of a feeling of energy. And it will not be in response to temptation, but it'll be in your own time and space. Do you understand that? In your own time and space. And not as a response to somebody saying something or doing something, and not as a response to some voice in your mind exhorting you. So the life in God is a spontaneous. Madame Guyon said it very, very right. She said it's like spontaneous, almost as if you didn't even act. It's very similar to when you were a little child. And you leapt from bed in the morning and looked forward to a day of adventure, and you did this and you did that, and you learned this and you learned that. And you saw this and you saw that, and it was just wonderful. And everything flowed one thing after another. And you said things, and you laughed, and you enjoyed running through the grass. And it was all spontaneous. You understand? Spontaneous, without pre-planning. So that's how you must learn to live. That's the life of the Spirit. I'll never forget one time I was listening to a lady, and she was saying on the radio how she had found the life of the Spirit. And she said, I don't know quite how to describe it to you, she said to the program host. She said, but I go out into my garden and I don't know what I'm going to do. And then I just do something in my garden. And the whole day is like that. I don't know what I'm going to do next, but I flow through the day and it's just beautiful. Well, that's describing it very well. So Madame Guyon said it well, to be led by the Spirit of God. So it's a moment by moment thing. Now, how do you do that? Well, you have to get closer to God. You have to want to be led by the Spirit, and you have to find that state of being and that state of mind where you can be led by the Spirit. And what that means is getting your ego out of the way. It means looking for opportunities to overlook instead of becoming angry or indignant, you see? It means wanting to do the right thing, but knowing that you don't even know what the right thing is. But yet you want to do the right thing, you see? And it means waiting upon God. And it means not being hasty and not moving with impatience, not moving with anger. Do you see? Not trying to make something happen. It's beautiful. I could give you so many examples of that. But I'll just stop this little talk at this point because I think you got the idea. Madame Guyon, incidentally, this is a very nice little translation. It's very simple. And the title of this translation is Experiencing God Through Prayer. Donna Arthur is the editor. And this was done by Whitaker House Publishing. So it was done probably 30 or 40 years ago. You can find it online as a used book. It's very nice. I think it would be a nice book to get, but you should get my meditation. Either the 8-minute version, or I'm now making the 4-part meditation completely free for you to listen to all 4 parts and to use it. Get the meditation and use it, and then get this book, this translation of Madame Guyon's book, and read a little bit until you see something, realize something, and then close the book, put it down, and go out into the world. And from that will come many wonderful more realizations. And with it, a peace. Madame Guyon also so beautifully said it. She said this activity, she puts activity in quotes, this activity of being led will always surround you with peace. Peace. When do you feel anxiety? When you feel like you have to do something. Something makes you feel like you have to do something. See, it's temptation operating through you. And your own wrong way of thinking. The notion that you have to make things happen. And you feel like you have to do something. And often when you feel like you have to do something, you know what? It's really selfish because you want to get it over with. You want to get it done so that you can say to yourself, well, I did what I could, and then go on to something else. You see what I mean? Because you don't have real patience. But you must find real patience. You must find real love. Real love is not acting with impatience, not acting with some goal. See, that goal is also embodies a temptation and usually involves you wanting to look good, seem good, appear good, see, or to make up for something you did. Just be spontaneous. Don't try to make anything happen. And then you can be led by the Spirit of God.